Hello everyone, this is just a very quick demo of some CSS layout stuff that I think might be a tiny bit helpful. We'll talk about it in class tomorrow.
Hey everyone.
There's my son who also wants to say hello. So just a couple of things I want to talk about. By default, CSS pages are laid out in blocks. So block level elements, which include things like div, h1, section, paragraph, list items, and so forth. Each of those items gets its own line in the page, and the lines are laid out sequentially. And we can see here we have a header element, footer element in between a main, and inside the main we have a bunch of other stuff. This is the very same or almost identical HTML to what we saw before in the CSS layout repo. But I've added these buttons at the bottom that lets you easily switch back and forth between layouts. So here's the default block layout, nothing happening there. Here's a quick switch to flex layout, and we can see that the main element has been assigned a display value of flex. So its children are now being positioned according to the flex algorithm, and the flex direction by default is set to row, and that causes these elements to be arranged horizontally. If we set the flex direction to row reverse, it looks very similar, except that these elements are stacked up in reverse. And if we give it a column layout, we can see it's nearly identical to the block layout. And our other option is to set the display of main to grid, and then then create grid areas and assign the main's children to those grid areas. In this case, we've got 4 direct children of main, and each of them has been assigned a named area. We also have a second grid inside the article, which uses a different mechanism to assign grid areas to or grid boxes to its children. So its children just use grid row and grid column to get their assignments. So I just wanted to show you, first of all, that I did this thing and that you can go check it out. It's at the same CSS layout place that we had before, except the new HTML page is called demo.html, and the style and JavaScript files associated with it are also called demo.css and demo.js. All right, I hope that was a tiny bit helpful, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Later.